Amongst all of the lycanthropes and changelings in the world, no one is said to be as abhorrent to behold as the blood-curdling appearance of the were-rabbit. Said to be over 20 feet tall, with gigantic paws that can bend steel like matchsticks, and huge, pointy teeth that can penetrate the imprimal skin of a Twinkie with ease. This aberration of nature does very well deserve its frightful reputation and its notary position on the 18th place on the list of most frightening rabbits in the 21st century. It's here in the North County of England where the legend of the were-rabbit makes its birth. During the Great Vegetable Famine in 1954, Thomas G. Haydenmeyer was arrested by charges of stealing massive amounts of crops from the farmlands in Northumberland. During the ensuing trial, he was found guilty and sentenced to death of disembowelment, despite his own instinct that he was innocent and that it was the were-rabbit who had eaten all the crops, a statement he firmly stood by until his death 3 days later. However, the crop stealing did not end with Haydenmeyer's death, and as if on cue with his execution reports of strange sightings began to come in all from over the country, of a monstrous Hulk-like aberration sprouting big fuzzy ears from the top of his head. From then on, the legend of the were-rabbit had only grown and expanded, and today it's quite hard to tell the real events of the legend apart. However, there is one event that is known to have taken place in the past 50 years, the siege of Jameson's cottage. In 1967, Willie Jameson and his family was besieged for 3 days by something that is best described as a big fuzzy bunny out for just one thing: blood. Accounts of this encounter are very vague, as the Jamesons has been very reluctant with giving information to the media.
However, after a lot of bickering and bribing, we managed to get ourselves an interview with the son of Willie Jameson, Timmy Jameson. And so, it is our distinct pleasure here at Monster Documentaries to present you with the first ever given to media first-hand account of the siege of Jameson's cottage.
Well, I don't remember too much about it because I was kind of little at that time and not very good at remembering stuff. But I do remember that it was the most horrifying experience I've ever had. Well, at least I think it was the most horrible experience, because you see, I've been pretty much drunk for the last 10 years or so I don't really remember that much about them. But I am pretty sure that it was amongst the most horrible experiences I've ever had. Anyway, it all began as one of them lazy, boring days that seemed to go on forever and never end. Well, at least that was what my mum told me. But she had been chronically depressed for like 5 years, since she was like 5 years or so. So she pretty much thought every day to be boring and lazy. But still, I think it probably was one of them lazy and boring days. But all that boringness ended once the evening came, and my dad came rushing into the cottage, screaming at my mum and I to grab whatever vegetable we could find and lock ourselves in the basement. So my mum and I took a cat each and, well, went down into the basement. A few moments later, the old cottage started shaking and growling sounds could be heard coming from outside. And this went on for a while, but then eventually it stopped and my dad came down saying that he had managed to draw the beast away. But then a few moments later, the old shaking came back and the growling too. So my dad gave me a bottle of whiskey, told me that to drink it because it would help me fall asleep, and went up again. And I've been pretty much drunk ever since.
So, what happened next?
What? Oh right, well, I don't remember too much of the rest because, well, I was drunk from that point on and not, well, I don't remember pretty much anything else. Except that progesterone alpha have been known to reduce the mortality rate from 31 to 25% in severe sepsis.